Hello, everybody. I see a couple of comments already, so I see that you guys were chatting. Oh, Teresa's here. Hi, Renee. Hi, Teresa. So how is everyone? I just had to chase my cat out, so you might hear some scratching on the door, and she's not happy that she's being locked out. So how is everybody? I don't know how many. I think we have 9 people in here. So I just wanted to, I know I haven't done a live in a couple of weeks, and I just wanted to pop in. I like to, oh, thank you, Teresa. I just wanted to pop in and chat, and I like to do this every once in a while. I love the crafting part of it, but I also like talking to everyone too. Hi, Dawn. So I've been trying to think of different topics that we can kind of chat about, and one of them is always budget. And I know that there's tons and tons and tons of money saving tips videos out there. In fact, I've done one, and they are helpful. But 99% of the time, those videos will save you money in the long run, but you got to spend more money in order to save that money. So, I know we all have different budgets when it comes to crafting supplies and things like that. So I just wanted to pop on and kind of talk about, I don't know, the way I think about things. I've been doing cards, I've been crafting, some sort of crafting my whole life. But card making, seriously card making, or I should say focusing on card making for about 10 years now. So I've kind of gone through the phases of it's out there, I want it, I need it, I'm going to have it now, to the, okay, I got to take a step back, I'm spending way too much money on things that maybe I don't even need. So I just wanted to kind of chat with you guys and kind of give you my point of view, and hopefully it will help you guys, because I know that this is a dangerous, dangerous hobby when it comes to our bank accounts. It is so tempting. Hi, Kiana. It is so tempting to go out and buy the latest and greatest of everything. New product comes out, we want it. And it's hard to not fall into that trap. So I've been through that phase. I worked my job. I would have a 1-hour lunch, and I never ate lunch. I went to 3 craft stores that were in that area, and I'm talking in that area less than a mile away from where I worked. I had a Hobby Lobby, a AC Moore, and a Michaels, and I would hit all of them in 1 week. I'd use my coupon at every single one, and I would have to get this. Oh, distress markers came out. I needed them, and I got 1 pack every single week from every single store until I had them all. Where do they sit? They sit in that bin. Not saying that they're not a great product, but I didn't need them, because obviously years and years and years later, they're still sitting there. So when you are starting out as a card maker or any craft or any hobby, really, it is normal to spend a ton of money, because you have to build up your inventory, you have to build up your stash. But once you get to a certain level, at some point you have to kind of yield a little bit to everything. Hi, Amanda. So some of the things that staying power. I know that Renee says that all the time. Staying power for a product. You see somebody review a product, and I'm guilty of it. And this mainly because I forget I have it. But product reviews. You see them review it, and they give rave reviews, and then they never touch it again. And I have to say that I'm guilty of it. Some of the stuff, like, Mom, I don't even know if my mom is here. I'm assuming she is, because she always is. I was just at your house today, and I wanted to get my Arteza Everblend markers. Forgot to get them. I keep forgetting to get them because I want to work with them more. But that it's just something that you have staying power, like Renee said. If is popular today and popular next week and next month and 6 months from now, then you pretty much know it's a good product and maybe a technique that you want to try or a product that you want to try. I know we're right smack in the middle of a kit week. If you guys don't get kits or are looking to get kits, that's a great way to try a new product. They typically don't give you a ton of it, but they'll give you, like, I know that Simon Says Stamp. Hi, Trish. Will give, like, when the alcohol pearls came out, they gave one package. So you got 3 bottles of alcohol pearls, which isn't, I don't want to say that it's not enough because I don't think I have any more. But even though I do enjoy them, it gave me the opportunity to try them out before I invested any more money into them. So things like kits are a great way to try new things that maybe you don't want to make a huge purchase on, but you get little bits and pieces, little samples here and there that you can kind of test out. So before I purchase something, which let me tell you, my craft budget is this big, and I think about everything before I actually hit that checkout button on whatever website I'm on. And sometimes my cart disappears. It sits there so long while I think about it. So what do we really need to make cards? I mean, we need stamps, we need ink, we need adhesive, and we need paper. Everything else is extra. It's nice to have, but it is not a necessity. Every single time a stitched rectangle die comes out, how many stitched rectangle dies do we need? I have one set. I have, I run regular stitched rectangle die, but I see some people that have one from every single company. They're the same thing, guys. They're the same thing. They might be a little tiny bit off in size, but they're pretty much the same thing. So just try to save money where you can. I get asked too. I have notes here, by the way, of things that people have commented on or asked me about. I've been asked why I use Copics, primarily Copics, and I don't use any other alcohol marker. Again, got to get those Artezas back from you, Mom. And they're the most expensive. Why do I use those if I'm all about saving money? And my main reason is that, first of all, it took me 8 years to start investing in Copics. As much as I wanted them, it took me 8 years. So I didn't just dive right in, but I'm happy with them. I love them. So I don't feel the need to buy anything else, whether it's a good deal or not. I know, like, I've had a chance to test out other markers without actually owning them, and I have to say that I've enjoyed using them, but I enjoy coloring. You can give me a box of Crayolas and I'm going to enjoy it. But that's why I stick with Copics. I've invested a ton of money in them. I love them. I'm familiar with them. I'm not going to buy anything else. I know that people want me to try the Nuvos and people want me to show the Altenews on my video. I just can't justify spending that much money just to do a video with them. So that's why I stick. So the things that I have that are the most expensive, which the most expensive thing in my craft room is my Copics. That's why I stick to them. I just don't see the reason of investing in anything else. Investing in higher quality items over time is probably a good idea. That's exactly what I was just going to say, Amanda. Your comment just popped up for me. Mine's a little delayed. That's exactly what I was going to say. If you're not sure something like alcohol marker coloring is going to be for you, invest in one of those really cheap sets that you get off of Amazon that are from China, that are no name. Are they going to give you the same results? No, they're not. But they're going to give you the feel of alcohol marker coloring. They're going to see it. You're going to be able to see if you really enjoy it before you start investing your money into a more expensive set. And it doesn't have to be Copics, but more expensive, whether it be the Altenews, the Nuvos, the whatever. Get the feel of it first. You can pick up a pack of Sharpies and still kind of sort of get a feel for, I had Sharpies. I had Sharpies. But my mom will tell you that I have been, even though I splurged a lot more in the beginning than I do now, I still tried to save money. My mom will remember the first time I decided I wanted to heat emboss. And this was maybe like 2 weeks after I started card making. So I went to Michael's because that's the only thing I knew at that time is Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and AC Moore. I didn't even know that this whole world online existed. So I got my embossing powder. I got my Versamark. I got that little anti-static tool. And I thought I was good to go. I refused to spend $25 on a heat gun. So I got everything ready. I sprinkled on my embossing powder and I brought out my hair dryer thinking this will work. Yeah, it just blows the embossing powder all around, and naturally it doesn't get hot enough to melt the embossing powder. And I went right back to Michael's and bought the $25 heat gun. But I tried to save $25. But sometimes we have to experiment. But funny things like that. But I've always been a little cheap that way. But yeah, investing in higher quality things over time is always a good idea, especially if it's something like Copic markers. I mean, I can't even imagine how much money I've spent on Copics and refills and nibs and all of that stuff. But test it out. See if you really, really like it before you get a whole ton of something that's just going to sit there. Also, multiples. We probably all have multiples of something. For example, alcohol markers. There's many people that have 3 or 4 different types of alcohol markers and they have the entire sets. And why? I don't understand why. I can understand if you're not happy with one, but if you have the Altenews, the Nouveaus, the Artezas, and say the Blick, oh, thank you so much. You don't need all of that stuff. So kind of take a look. Another thing is I have to say that I have a Gemini. You can see it back there. I've had my Gemini for a long time, and way before the Gemini was even popular. Nobody even knew what the Gemini was. But I had a Cuttlebug at the time, and I had a Cuttlebug for very many years until it finally broke. And the handle kept falling off, but the one time I was cranking it, the handle fell off, but the screw and the spring went in all these different directions, and I had no choice. I need a die cut machine. So HSN, I think it was HSN that had that Crafty Day or whatever. They had a Gemini, and that was the first time they were introducing the Gemini. My parents actually ordered it without me knowing and gave it to me. I think it was for an early birthday present or something, but I still have it and I love it. It's the full size Gemini. And you can see that it's way over there. And that's just because of the way my room is set up. But I have to tell you, it's not convenient for me. I have to kind of change things around. It's not convenient for me, especially when I'm working with something like the Hero Arts Kit and I'm die cutting constantly. I'm getting up and I'm getting up. And don't forget, when you're recording, you have a light. You have this over here. You have this over here. You're like surrounded and it's a pain. But can I justify spending another $120 on a smaller die cut machine just so that I have something near me? No, I cannot. I have one die cutting machine. It works. It works well. I like it. I'm sticking to it. There's some people who have 4 or 5 die cutting machines. I can't imagine. I just think there's so much more that we can spend money on. Inks is another big one. And I know that we do have full set syndrome. I do too. Mainly with certain things I do, but there's so many different inks out there. And you talk about dye or the colored dye inks. Every company has them now. Every company. You talk about black inks for your alcohol marker safe inks. Almost every company makes that too. There's some people who like to try them all, and that's fine. But once you find one you really like, just stop. just stop. You found it. You found it, what you were looking for. Just stop purchasing now. You found the one. I like the blackout ink on 3. Been using it for about a year and a half now, and I've never purchased another ink other than this since then for my Copics because I like it. My colored inks that I have all back there, I have my Simon Says stamp and I have my Hero Arts shadow inks, which are basically the same thing. And I know that I've had them forever. And I know I was on Simon Says stamp website the other day, and I know that there was another company that just recently came out with a line of inks. And they'd be nice to have, but I just can't. I just can't bring myself to spend all that money. You're talking $6 to $7 per ink pad, which they are nice to try. And I know that you guys want to see them in videos. I just can't justify spending that much money when I have something just as good behind me. I'm happy with it. So ways to kind of save money a little bit if you're still going to buy, which we're all still going to buy. Don't get me wrong. I still buy. I just placed an order with Simon Says stamp the other day. I still buy. But I'm just a little bit more, I put a little bit more thought into my purchases instead of, oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's my favorite color. Oh, that, whatever. That's how I used to be. Not so much anymore. So take a look at what you already have. Like I said, the stitch rectangle dies. Guys, you need one set. That's it. Oval dies. Do you need the pierced, the stitched, the scalloped, the whatever? Do you need that many? Also, basic shape dies. I know it's convenient to have regular old rectangle and regular old square, no stitching or anything like that. It is super convenient. It's already measured for you. You just run it through the die cutting machine. But you're talking like $30 for a set of those dies when you have a paper trimmer with measurements on it. To me, it's a no-brainer. So things like that, you just have to kind of think like, do I need this? Because your craft budget is going to go like that, depending on how big it is. If you guys have $1,000 a month, then I admire you, but I don't. So I'm just a little bit more cautious before I place my order. Also, think, yes, scan and cut. Scan and cuts are expensive. Don't get me wrong. They are not a cheap machine, but if you are one to purchase coordinating dies, it will pay for itself. In fact, when I got my scan and cut, I sold all of my coordinating dies for all my stamp sets that I had coordinating dies to, except for like the ones that are like a little interactive that don't just cut the image. You know which ones I'm talking about, but I sold all of them on eBay, paid for the scan and cut. And then the more I use it, the more it continues to pay for itself. So it's a lot of money to invest in upfront, but it will definitely pay for itself. Yeah, I'm not huge into dies, and I mean, you guys know, you guys watch my videos. I love my 1-layer cards, and I started 1-layer cards, number one, because I fell in love with coloring. And number two, it's cheap. It's cheaper than having to buy 3 different die sets for one card. I still use dies, but I don't use them as often as maybe I should. Maybe that'll be something I'm continuing in 2020 with using more dies. But also think about destashing or trading your items. If you have a local friend that crafts, think about going like halves on an order with Simon Says stamp. Find things like stamp sets and stuff like that you both like, and go half. You use it one week, I'll take it the next week. If you're close by, who cares whose house it's at, as long as you know that set is there for you if you want it. Also trying out new things. If you craft with other people, try their stuff. You know, while you're at their house or you're at a crop or something like that, that's your time to try out new products that you've never tried. It doesn't even have to be new. It could be something that's been out there for a long time. But I agree, Amanda. You're amazing at the chunky layered cards and the interactive cards. I just don't have the supplies for all of them. But so yeah, think about destashing. You're not going to get the full amount. So if you pay $15 for a stamp set, don't expect somebody to pay $15 for a used stamp set. But even if you get half of it back, there's half of it for another stamp set. There you go, Kiana. That's a great idea. You know, sharing, it's going to save a lot of money for you guys. So also some things. So the basic shape dies, avoid them. I mean, circles, yes, because it's hard to cut a circle. But basic rectangles, basic squares, please don't waste your money on those. Pre-made card bases. Again, very convenient. And that's how they get you. They get you with convenience. But how hard is it to make your own card base? Not hard. I can tell you that the paper that I get, and I'll try to find a link for it. It's actually made by a local to me paper mill. I think you call it. Is that what it's called? Paper mill. And it's fantastic. To me, it's better than the Nina, 110 pounds. It's super smooth. You cannot color on it though, but it's perfect for card bases. And it's so cheap. I don't know exactly how much it is, but it's really, really, really cheap. It's like a third or a quarter of the price of the Nina. It's probably on the same price line or price level as the Michaels brand of their heavyweight, but it's much smoother. And I cut them, I score them, and I crease them. That's what I do. And I sit in front of the TV, watch a movie, and cut 500 card bases because yes, I do go through all 500. But it takes an evening, I would say, to do it. But I don't know how much a package is of pre-folded cards, but I'm not going to find out because I make my own. Colored cardstock. Now, we all have colored cardstock. I can tell you that I haven't purchased colored cardstock since before, I'm trying to do the math of how long I lived here and how long I lived there, probably 7 years. I have not purchased colored cardstock other than black, the Desert Storm, obviously white, and I think that's it. Because I have a stash of them and it's the cheap Michaels stuff, and I'm trying so desperately hard to start using this up because it has been sitting here for 6 or 7 years now and it needs to go. But when I use colored cardstock, I very rarely use a lot of it. I may cut into a sentiment strip, and usually I have a colored image on my card. So I take my Copic marker and I color my own cardstock, my own little strip or a little border around whatever I need to color, as long as it's not the whole page, with my Copic marker. Number one, I know it's exactly going to match everything that's on that card because I'm using the same marker as I used on that card. And I don't have to buy pattern paper, or not pattern paper. Don't get me started on pattern paper. But I don't have to buy that colored cardstock because I already have it. So those are just some money saving tips for you as far as what to think about before you make your purchase. So like I said, I've definitely gone through phases. Renee, don't get me started on the pattern paper. It's just not, there's nothing wrong with pattern paper. Pattern paper, some of it is absolutely beautiful. I struggle with pattern paper. I have such a hard time with pattern paper, and some of it is so beautiful. And you'll see, I think tomorrow, you won't see it in the video because I had to edit it out because the videos are just too long with these kit videos. Simon Says Stamp came out with the most beautiful pattern paper I've ever seen in their kit. It's gorgeous. And I messed up so many times that I think I have one sheet left. And in all actuality, only used 2 sheets out of all the cards I made. So I cut it, I put it together. It just doesn't look like what you guys make. I just can't. I just struggle. It's beautiful. I love the look of it. I just can't get it together when it comes to pattern paper. So like I said, the different stages that I've gone through my crafty life, as far as spending, and then there was a time that I spent nothing. And now it's like I kind of give myself a budget. And how do you know what to buy when you only have a small amount? I highly suggest giving yourself a budget, whether you can afford it or not. I definitely would recommend giving yourself a budget and trying to stick to it. Because don't forget, those same products are going to be there next month. If you give yourself a monthly budget, those products are going to be there next month. Take a look at your cards. It took me a long time to figure out what type of card maker I was. I wanted to do it all. I wanted to make all those bulky layers. I wanted to make the 1 layers. I wanted to do this and this and this and every technique and every product that came out. I wanted to try it, and I wanted to be an expert in it all. Well, that's not practical. So once I did get my Copics and I invested all that money and I found what my style really is and what I really enjoy doing, I spend far less on my craft supplies now. So take a look at your cards, because you may not know. You may not even know what you kind of lean towards every time. But definitely take a look at your cards, whether you have a stack of them, whether you post them on Instagram. Take a look at your Instagram account. Scroll through and pick out your 5 favorite cards that you've made and figure out what they all have in common. Guess what? If they're all 1 layer Copic colored scenes like mine are, that's what you might want to stick with. Get yourself some masking paper, get yourself some alcohol markers and Nina Solar White, and that's all you need. So that's what I suggest. If you like Amanda, if you don't know, if you've never seen what Amanda creates, she's Pear Blossom Press. She does the most amazing interactive cards I have ever seen. And I know she puts a ton of time into them, but she makes the most amazing interactive cards. That's her thing. She found what of course we all love card making. We love every aspect of it. But what do you really love? Amanda really loves those interactive cards, and she's good at it. So she sticks with it. And that's what you should do. If you like pattern paper, go get yourself stacks and stacks and stacks of pattern paper, but don't waste your money on the stuff you're not going to use. If pattern paper is your thing, stick to the pattern paper. It's okay to stray away sometimes, because we all stray away. But yeah, like Roberta said, what is your joy? I went through my craft room a few months ago. I don't even know. And I got rid of so much. My mom has her own craft area now, and 95%, if not more, is my stuff, or my stuff that I've given to her. Because I got rid of that much, and she is good to go with making cards. She may want to pick up stamp sets and things like that, but maybe I don't want to say 95%, because Desiree was pretty generous with what she gave. But I got rid of so much stuff, and some of it I threw away, because like my mom's not going to want it. Nobody's going to want it, because they don't even make this stuff anymore, because I've had it in my stash for 6, 7, 8, 9 years. But I feel it's sad to see it go. But at the same time, it's like I haven't touched this stuff in 5 years. Probably not going to in the next 5. So just let it go. And I feel so much more productive. So much more productive, because if I'm looking for something, an element to put on a card or something, I don't have to go through bins and bins and bins of things that, oh, nope, not that, not that, not that. I know what I kept because I know what I like, and it's going to be there. And I don't have to rummage through a bunch of things that I don't like and that I'm not going to use to find it. And you are going to be a lot more creative and productive. I make my own backgrounds as well. I'm just not good with the pattern paper. I try. I really do try, especially with kits. I really try, but every time I struggle. You'll notice that when I don't have any cards right next to me, but I still have the aftermath of the Simon Says Stamp kit. You can see that I have little strips here. More little strips, because that's my extent of pattern paper. Just add a little strip of it. Even though it's beautiful, the piecing it together is what I struggle with. It's not using one pattern, it's using multiple patterns and getting them to work together. I struggle with. You're learning to draw with a pen, you mean on your scenes? I love creating my scenes. And you know what? That is what I purchased in Simon Says Stamp. I tried very, very hard because I know that EK Success is getting rid of their journaling pens. And I'm devastated because they work so well and they are cheap and I can't find them. They must all be gone. So, I don't know if you guys, if any of you have tried anything that is like a Copic safe pen that's not expensive. I don't want to buy Copic multi-liners because to me, I don't think that they're going to work any better than any other pen out there. So I prefer cheap. So if any of you have any suggestions, I'm willing to take them because I am down to my last pen. My other ones all have died. So I'm down to my last pen. So soon I'm definitely going to have to get something. The pen that I'm talking about is this one. I don't know, Dawn. I've never tried that. And Amanda, I need something Copic safe for my scenes. This is the EK Success journaling pens. I don't know. I've never tried them. How do you pronounce that? Microns? I've never actually tried those. When I was looking it up on Amazon to see if they had any more journaling pens, which they don't, just to save you guys some time, I saw those pop up. So I didn't know whether they are Copic safe. So I'm assuming they are. So I'll try them. I'll try them because I definitely have to get something because I know my luck is I'll be right in the middle of a project and this thing will die completely. And I've had this one for a long time. Okay, I'll have to try those too. And they're Copic safe too, Kathy? Oh, Roberta, no. The multi-liners are so expensive. You keep those. You guys are so sweet. See, that's what I mean about sharing supplies. So does anybody, I know that was just my little spiel on money saving because I know I've been there and I see posts on Facebook and people mention in YouTube videos and stuff, and it's just, stop spending so much. They came with your Copics. Oh, see, I didn't buy those sets. I pretty much bought most of mine individually. I started with a blending trio. That was the first Copics I had. 3 blues, and they just came with the 3 markers. And then the only other set that I got was the skin tones almost right after that. And that was because I was at Michael's and they accidentally marked them on clearance. Mailing the cards for the card drive. Okay, so yeah, I can briefly touch on that. By the way, I'm getting a ton of cards for the card drive, so that makes me so happy. So every month, we are going to do the Caring Card Makers card drive. And we were going to do Card Makers for a Cause, but somebody pointed out that that name is already taken. So we had to switch. Caring Card Makers. So for the month of January, so for the first, let me back up. First of the month, I will let you guys know what organization will be for that month. So you just need to send your cards in and they need to be received by the last day of that month. So for example, this Sunday, I'm going to have a video and I'm going to let you know what the organization is and any requirements that they have. Yes, you can send them directly to me and I'll bulk them all up and send them. And my address, my mailing address is on my blog. It's on the video about this. So I'll also let you know if there's any requirements for this particular month. And I know it's kind of last minute. I don't know whether I'd get them by Saturday, but it is going to River Valley Estates, which is an assisted living in a home in Yuma, Arizona, along with, they do a lot of other things too. They have different units, I should say. And we are collecting cards for them. There are no requirements. They will take glitter. They will take layers. They'll take anything. And you just send them to me and sign your first name in the inside. Those of you who didn't sign your first name, that's all right. I'm just going to write it in for you. And that's it. Okay, so not the Microns. Okay, I'll try the Faber-Castell Pitt pens. In fact, I think I have one laying around here. I don't know whether it's black, though. Again, one of those things that I purchased. For what? Yes, thanks, Amanda. There are a lot of de-stashing groups out there on Facebook. You can also create one on Instagram. Create your own de-stash page and get people to follow you, and they'll wait for you to post stuff. And I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff that way. And sometimes it's just like, you don't necessarily want to make money on it, but you don't want it to go to waste. You want it to go to somebody that's going to use it and you know. Oh, well, happy birthday. So, I think that was the only question that popped up. If I forgot to mention, my comments, your comments coming through on my end are delayed a little bit, but also they disappear very quickly. So if a lot of comments come through all at once, I may miss it. It disappears pretty quickly. So if I'm just ignoring you, if you asked a question and I just ignore you, I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I didn't see your comment in time before it disappeared. So just copy and paste it again and I'll see it. So yeah, what I was thinking about doing is, because I enjoy coming on live because I like talking and chatting to you guys rather than just card making and responding to individual comments, because there's some conversations that I've had in comments that go back and forth for days. So I like coming on here and chatting. So I think I'm going to do this once a month, just coming on, picking a topic. You guys can choose the topic. I don't care what it is. And we can come and talk and chat. And, you know, it's just a little bit more interactive than just the comments. Also, I know on that note, for the card drive, there's also a private Facebook group. If you guys are interested in participating in any events, hops, collaborations, there's also some challenges going on over there with some prizes. I know Kiana was a winner last month, or the last challenge, actually, I should say. that is not going to be linked here because I forgot to put it in the description, but it's over on Facebook, and you can certainly just send a request to join, and we'll accept you in there. Thanks for letting me share. Oh, yeah, Roberta had a little mishap with her challenge, but it happens. It always happens. So it's happened to all of us. Kiana, that's how I feel. I never win anything. I have the worst luck, and my mom can agree with me here. We can have 10 scratch offs, and I can scratch off lottery tickets, and I can scratch 9 of them. And you can scratch one, and that'll be the winner, and all 9 of mine will be losers. Never win. Never win on anything. I go to the casino, 50 bucks is up like this in a penny slot machine. So I have zero luck. Zero luck. So yeah, I don't think I've ever won a giveaway. I don't think I've ever won a giveaway. I don't participate in them anymore, but in the beginning I did, and I never won. I don't think I ever won. Oh, well, that's good, Roberta. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did win one thing. Honeybee Stamps had a challenge. I don't even remember what it was called. It was a while ago, and I randomly won that one too. The Facebook group is, Renee, if you're still in here, is there any way that you can link that Facebook group in here, or does it not let you link it? It's for those of you who want to participate, maybe not now, but maybe in the future, want to participate in any blog hops, Instagram hops, YouTube hops, different collaborations with either myself or somebody else in the group. And we have different challenges in there where it's just fun challenges where last month we had to find in our stash the oldest card that we made. It didn't matter how old it was, and try to recreate it. It didn't have to be the same stamp set or anything like that, but something very similar. Recreate it and just show the then and the now. And that was fun. That was really fun to see how far they've come, and some of them how far they've come in such a short amount of time. Yeah, it definitely was. So what I'll do for the Facebook group, yeah, I think it's Courtney's card hops or card making hops, maybe. I don't even know the name of it. Yes, thank you, Roberta. Yeah, just search for it and send over a request. And either myself or Renee is also an admin in there, and she's Delaney Jane Cards in here. And she can let you into if I'm not available. So yeah, lots of fun challenges. And I know, Marie, I wasn't planning on it. It was kind of like I figured it out about an hour ago because quite honestly, I just didn't feel like crafting tonight. A moderator. Renee is something. I made Renee something. I don't know what she is, but yes, Heidi, of course I'll do you a favor. See, it's so delayed on my end now. I have to wait for the favor to come through, and it's going to be like this awkward silence. Yeah, you know what? I'm done with the kits, and I just decided to take the night off. It's a Facebook group to basically coordinate different events and hops. Oh, I need to make somebody, okay. I guess I could do that. I can't do it now, but for the future, yes, I will do that, Heidi. I'll take a look at your blog. I've been crazy busy, so I haven't had a chance to really take a look at anything. Um, so yes, Heidi, as soon as this is over, I'll take a look at your blog and I'll send you a message. And that one comment just disappeared, so I don't know who posted that. But yes, if you'd like to learn about how to participate in a hop, this would be the perfect group for you. We have discussions about what to do, what's expected, what to kind of stay away from, what's encouraged, all of that stuff. There's a lot of people in there, some who have never been in a hop before, and many of us have been in several. So there's kind of all levels of experience in there. So the group will be very helpful for you. But of course, Heidi, going back and forth here just because I'm answering comments. But yes, I will definitely give you some constructive criticism on the blog. Yeah, Courtney's, everybody was just saying what the name of it was, and I forget it already. Courtney's Card Making Hops, I believe it was. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in that, if you are interested in participating in any of our events, feel free to join us. All right, guys. So does anybody have any questions about anything? It just got accepted. That would be Renee. Renee's right on top of it. My memory's gone. Are you talking about me, Murray? And I know that. I know my memory's gone, especially when I do lives, because like I said, the comments come and go so quickly that I feel like I'm actually just talking to you guys and you're not typing and me receiving it 10 seconds later. So I feel like I'm just having a conversation with you. No, you don't have to have a blog to participate. There's different ways to participate. So this first hop that we're having here is on February 12th, and it will involve YouTube videos, blog posts, as well as photos of your cards. And I'm going to be creating a video with a slideshow with a voiceover that explains what you did on your card, who you are, where you're from, things like that. So does anybody have any more questions? It doesn't have to be about the group. It could be about anything for me or anybody else that's watching. Anything else that you guys want to chat about? Thank you. Melinda, can you find me on Facebook and send me a friend request? And once we get off of here, I will send you an invite for the group. So I think, yes, it's called Courtney's Card Making Hops, but I can certainly send you an invite. Just send me that friend request, or anybody that is having a hard time finding the group, just send me or Renee a friend request and we can send you an invite. So I can't believe we've been on here for almost an hour already. See, this goes by so fast. I love chatting with you guys. Okay, so Dawn got in. Thank you for, Renee is probably going crazy right now, letting everybody in. Renee is like, Renee deserves, like, I need to put her on a payroll or something. She has helped me so much with this group. Metal stencils. No, I haven't. Where's Frankie? Frankie is locked out. Him and my other cat, who is Macy, who you don't typically see. You may hear her in the background of voiceovers, and she usually likes to, those cardboard scratch boards. She usually likes to start scratching on that right as I start my voiceover. So they were running around and chasing each other around, so they're locked out. Oh, Roberta, have a great time. So yes, Frankie he's a crazy cat. He does. He definitely does. And that's partially my fault. And my mom will say that it's completely my fault. He likes to be center of attention because he's always been center of attention. I've always babied him and he loves to be babied. He is not by any means a typical cat in any way at all. He's like my baby and he loves to be held. And when he doesn't get what he wants, he runs up and down the hallway, howling, crying. So he's a crazy cat. He's definitely a crazy cat. He's one of a kind. He's my baby, though. So does anybody else have any questions, comments, topics they want to chat about before we go? I know, Roberta, but I have a feeling he loves you. Oh, John, that's funny. He doesn't do that. Luckily, he doesn't take them. He knocks them down. But he's more interested in coloring. He loves to watch that color go on the paper. And literally, I know that you guys can't see it because my camera is above everything, so you can really just see the top of his head. But his nose is about this close to the paper, just paying attention to every little stroke that goes on that paper. He's fascinated. He prefers pencils, though. He likes the pencils. I was coloring with pencils yesterday, and he kept knocking that out of my hand. Yeah, the colors are his catnip. I mean, he's a male cat, and the cat loves pink. Anything pink that comes into this house, he claims. I bought 2 pet beds, one blue, one pink, because I have a boy and a girl, and he will always take the pink one, always. Amanda, I wanted a bunny. I had a bunny picked out for me, and he was adopted 1 hour before I was going to go and get him. I can't even remember his name. I'm trying to think of his name. I volunteered at the Humane Society, and oh my gosh, his name is not coming to me. But he was little. He was like this big. He was so cute. And as I was like washing the windows of his enclosure, he kept standing up and sitting down, standing up as my hand would go up and down. He was so adorable. So I talked to the guy at the desk and I said, I want him. And they said he was not fixed yet. So they said, like a certain day of that week, he was good to go. So I said, all right, I'll be back there. I'll be back here to get him. Oh my gosh, I had all this bunny stuff in my Amazon cart, ready to go, ready to get this adorable little bunny. I called to make sure he was ready to go. They told me yes. I said, I'll be right up after work. Before I got out of work, somebody went up and adopted him. So I didn't get my bunny. But he was adorable. But I mean, I do have 2 cats, so it's not like I'm petless. Yeah, maybe that's a feature that we should suggest to YouTube. Having more of like a group thing, like where we can post pictures and stuff. All right, guys. Well, I don't think anybody has any other questions about anything. I will take suggestions, though, for our next little chat next month sometime. Any topics that you guys want to talk about, I'm down. I'm pretty much open to almost any topic. I know there's a few controversial ones out there in the crafty world, and most of them I'm fine talking about, and others I'm a little iffy about. But yeah, certainly let me know if there's any topics that you guys want to chat about next month, and I'll kind of just keep a list going, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.